Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is Yvette Cooper's statement in the Houses of Parliament, which appears to suggest that A, we've already taken Gazans in as asylum seekers, B, we're going to take more, and C, those that are coming are more than likely Hamas. That's right, Hamas. Now, this speech has already got quite a lot of exposure. A lot of people not too happy about it. But when you factor in the probability of who's coming, it's actually more frightening. Now, this speech, I've got 1 minute before I'm going through each of them, but it's mind-blowing when you actually listen and consider what Yvette Cooper is telling us in comments. So the first thing is, look at the woman to her left, the right of the screen. She looks, I know what's coming here. Will we be able to pull this off? Because what she tells us is frightening. So let's have a listen to Yvette Cooper.
The Home Office has put in place systems to issue expedited visas with biometric checks conducted prior to arrival for children and their immediate accompanying family members. And we have done the same for all the Chevening scholars and are in the process. Right.
So what she's talking about here is children who are hurt in Gaza. And that sounds wholesome and pretty. Let me just point out to you that places like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt, and then even Russia and Israel, they have provided in the past and currently medical aid for children that have been injured in the horrific conflict in Gaza. There is no need to make children who have been injured travel thousands of miles to come here for medical attention. There is no shortage of people willing to give medical attention, and these people are neighbouring countries to Israel. So it's idiotic and no need. Why would you fly children thousands of miles when there is adequate and arguably better aid available on their doorstep, and bring them here in a country with rising and ever rising issues with our health service? And the visas that she's telling you that, let me just remind you of the quote.
For children and their immediate accompanying family members.
Immediate and accompanying family members, right? Which if a kid's, going into hospital, you would kind of think that. However, you would think it would be an immediate member, not members, so it's more than one. But listen to the next line.
And we have done the same for all the Chevening scholars and are in the process.
We've done the same for the achievement scholars. That's kids coming here to study. And what do you say next to that?
Of doing so now for the next group of students from Gaza who have been awarded.
So they're telling us we've done it. Nobody's heard about this before. And we're doing the same for the next lot. Right? So when did we start doing this? Right? Now what they're saying is we're doing the same, which is give visas to the immediate family. That's what she told us for the sick kids, and we're doing the same for the scholars. United Kingdom stopped issuing family visas to scholars some time ago, but we're doing it for the Gazan ones. Why are the Gazan family needing visas for when nobody else does? Nobody else in the world, apart, there's a couple of small courses, right, across the UK where you can still get a family visa on a student visa, right? You can bring your family. But she's just said we're going to bring more, but the second lot, maybe a third, I don't know what she means by more, but we've already done it and we're doing it again, right? And we're going to give them the same as the sick kids so their families can come as well, which is a bit bonkers.
Fully funded scholarships and places at UK universities.
Fully funded scholarship places. We've got a great industry of bringing foreigners to our further education places. And it brings in lots of money. But we're funding them now. They're funded places for the Gazan ones. Oh, and we'll bring your families as well.
So they can start their studies in autumn this year. And later this year, we will set
This is the autumn. From the 1st of September, it is officially autumn.
out plans to establish a permanent framework for refugee students to come study in the UK so we can help more talented young people fleeing war and persecution to find a better.
So this temporary thing for the Gazans, we're just going to make it permanent, right? Do we not have enough? Do we not do enough?
Better future, alongside capped and managed ways for refugees to work here in the UK. Mr. Speaker, this government is determined to fix every systems to issue expedited visas with biometric young people fleeing war and persecution to find a better future, alongside capped and managed ways for refugees to work here in the UK.
We're going to manage ways for them to work here in the UK. So we've went from sick kids, bring their families, to students bring their families, to now find ways of bringing refugees here to work.
Mr. Speaker, this government is determined to fix every aspect of the system we inherited and to restore the confidence of the British people.
Right, so she's going to fix the thing that she inherited. They've actually made it worse. Now to the kicker, right? Now this is the bit that you need to just listen to, right? Open your head here. Can you remember a short time ago, the BBC eventually had to apologise because they'd done a documentary. They'd spent months in this documentary with this young guy in Gaza. He was a teenager, about how horrific it was to be in Gaza. They launched the documentary after months in the making, before it was exposed that his family, father and his uncle, were in Hamas. One of them, a high-ranking officer in Hamas. And for anybody that saw the trailers or some of the footage from it, this young boy was quite clever, and he was telling us how he wanted to be educated in the West, right? The children in Gaza, this is a bit of a newsflash for you, right? Who are educated to any decent level that would allow them and get them qualified to go to any universities, etc. in the West, and who would have aspirations to do so, tend to be from the upper echelons of Gazan life. Not the kids in the rubble, not them, right? They do well to actually get educated with these scam schools that UNRWA are meant to educate them in. So the only kids that would even have the idea and the notion of furthering their education in the West, and would probably even know these things were available, the poor kids, the street level kids, will not even know about higher education, never mind how good they are in the United Kingdom. So the only kids that would be driven to get to further education are from the upper echelons of Gaza. Gaza, upper echelons, are uniquely held by Hamas and their clans. Your normal wee punter that everybody feels sorry for and wants to raise money for and look at and give them water and aid and all that, they're no desperate to come here to further their education. And let me remind you what Yvette Cooper has said. We're going to give them, nobody else in the world. You come here from America, we're working, a student visa, you're coming yourself. You can't bring your parents anymore. You're not allowed. We stopped that, right? If you come from Gaza, we're going to let you bring your family with you. We're opening our doors to Hamas, and these clowns can't see it. And we're going to put a permanent thing in place for this, by the way. This isn't just something, we're going to have for a wee while. So what I'm going to do just one more time, I'm going to let you listen now that I've sort of pointed out what she's actually saying, and just listen again.
Has put in place to issue expedited visas with biometric checks conducted prior to. The Home Office has put in place systems to issue expedited visas with biometric checks conducted prior to arrival for children and their immediate accompanying family members. And we have done the same for all the Chevening scholars and are in the process of doing so now for the next group of students from Gaza who have been awarded fully funded scholarships and places at UK universities so they can start their studies in autumn this year. And later this year, we will set out plans to establish a permanent framework for refugee students to come study in the UK so we can help more talented young people fleeing war and persecution to find a better future, alongside capped and managed ways for refugees to work here in the UK. Mr. Speaker, this government is determined to fix every aspect of the broken system we inherited and to restore the confidence of the British people. Solving
Shambles of a government. Absolute shambles of a government. Why do you need to do these things? I don't know. Answers in a postcard, please. If you want others to see this and feel the truth, hit the thumbs up, hit the share, put some comments below. That'll help drive it into more people's timelines. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell for the channel. But the most important thing of all, unless you're the type of person that's in a government that keeps constantly doing things that the people of this country are appalled by. Unless you're part of a government that tends to look after people outside the country more than the people inside it, then not you. But everyone else, have a great day. Cheery bye now.